top left, and Cassidy Moen over in the top. We got Old Man Sunshine in the bottom left and Hitsuyan in the bottom right, and we are off to the races.
And there's a cape in Sanctuary. That is interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of a neat start. We get to see crystals in Eastern Palace. We got a green pendant down in the desert and a red pendant up on Tower. So kind of a neat start. But as I was saying, very interesting to get the cape early on because it could indicate Agaseed. It's one of those items, and it's very early to get. So
yeah, if you see an early lamp, that's going to make me really suspicious.
Absolutely. We're getting 3 of our runners heading down into the dungeon area, so we're going to get a nice look at what Uncle's holding up. Just a full heart container there.
And they've all gotten bombs from the tree pull, which is a nice way to start off, so you know you're not going to have to worry. So you can go straight into Kakariko and not have to worry about bombs there.
Yeah, another heart there, and looks like some bombs just in the Lumberjack well, so that's a nail in the coffin of Aggle 1 for now. We'll see what else might be creeping.
Well, Cassidy Moen is giving us our first look at the Lost Woods here.
Yep, just a single rupee there in the mushroom spot, so nothing too exciting. The Bandit's Hideaway here, though, has 10 arrows. Still,
and PKR and
great.
Hitsuyan are going into escape already.
Yeah, with that early bomb find, it's kind of a nice find. There's a couple of chests there that they'll be able to grab. Seeing some great bomb tactics there, Pink Kitty Rose.
And Cassidy is now going to Uncle. And Old Man Sunshine having a bit of trouble here in the Lost Woods, but he should be our first Kakariko check.
Just 20 rupees now from Escape so far.
Yeah, and only one more chest in the front of Escape, so it could be a total bust here.
Yeah, it's really a risky play. You're not likely to want to do the dark parts of Escape. I don't think I've ever tried it.
Well, PKR and Hitsuyan are both more than capable of doing Escape in the dark. The question of whether they want to spend their time doing that is another matter.
Yeah, it looks like setting up a death warp here. And just 10 arrows. So additionally, we saw another full heart container down in the dam. So lots of health at this early start to this race.
And I missed what was in Blind's hut other than the shovel.
Blue armor as well.
Okay. So it was something.
Yeah, so another bunch here. We had a piece of heart here in the well, along with 100 rupees.
Well, that's bottle merchant money.
There's the power glove, though. So that's a pretty nice find.
Yes, that opens up the back of Escape without having to go through the front.
And we'll get a look on Cassidy Moen's screen of the mini Moldorm Cave. Making excellent bomb tosses here, catching everything until I jinxed it.
And the bottle merchant tonight is offering minus 99% ROI.
So another piece of heart here from mini Moldorm Cave. There's a cane. So another interesting kind of start. Now that is technically the first weapon we really have access to.
So unfortunately, PKR picked up the sewer's key in the back there, which means that she'll probably continue all the way through when it'll be a bit of a waste. Nope, she's quitting out. Okay, I was going to say it would have been a bit of a waste of time because you get the glove in Kakariko and you can just go straight to the back.
Now there's the mushroom spotted on the library shelf.
That could be a good troll item.
And Old Man Sunshine, I'm not sure. I didn't see what it was, but something is over there in the maze that he's decided to go for. Looks like it's a piece of heart.
I think he might have just gone for it blind.
Yeah.
Hitsuyan will be getting his glove shortly. Oh, and Old Man Sunshine, this makes sense. Before he does anything else, he's going to show us the shovel spot.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity. You don't often find a way to route it directly. Meanwhile, we'll get 3 chests here in the back of Sahar. Just some bombs at the dig spot, though.
Okay, so we're a sword away from having Aga in Logic.
Yeah, and that is something else.
Yeah, I mean, that lamp was sitting out there right in the open. More or less.
More or less, yeah, and it is in fact towards the one crystal dungeon, so it's even more likely that you'd encounter it early on. It truly is a very fuzzy start, if for lack of a better term. There isn't much tempting or leading you anywhere except for that, so.
Yeah, we're running out of Sphere 1 checks, though.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen Agonim's or Aga's Cave. Got that to go to. I don't know that we've seen anybody make all their way. Oh, we did get to Ice Rod Cave.
Did we?
Yeah, one of the players did continue the run, I'm pretty sure. Agina's gonna be checked shortly, I think.
Given where Old Man Sunshine is, yeah, probably.
Well, we also have some access up the mountain now with the lantern.
And the glove, yes.
So there still are a few places available for us.
Yeah, that gives us 2 checks on the mountain, the Old Man and inside Spectacle Rock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna say if we... Oh, and we also have Back of Escape still.
Oh, right.
We're about to see from Hitsu. So spotted here on the desert ledge, we see some more bombs. So thanks, Old Man Sunshine, for letting us know what's there.
No shortage of bombs in this seed. Oh, and there's the Moon Pearl in the Back of Escape.
Oh, that's an interesting find, because that does mean, you know, we're a hammer away from Dark World access now.
Or a glove upgrade away from West Dark World access.
True enough.
Now, those are always the interesting ones, where you get the glove for West Dark World, but still need to beat Aga for East Dark World.
So, Gina's Cave, just another piece of heart. Looks like we'll have to head up the mountain for a little bit more. Or, of course, we could go into Eastern Palace as well.
Right. Potentially 3 more items there. Though possibly only 2 if Armos has an item. So Old Man Sunshine is about to collect his Moon Pearl.
Yep, Pink Kitty Rose also electing to grab that piece of heart. And with that, I'm assuming Cassidy's heading over to the mountain now. That saving quit to Sanctuary. Or not. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh,
She hasn't done back of escape yet. Yeah, and of course, Zora is in logic, but none of our runners have anywhere close to enough money.
Yeah, and it is very interesting when a seed forces you to farm rupees for an item. It doesn't happen all that often, but it is logically possible.
It would be a serious troll.
Yeah, especially when racing. Old Man Sunshine having a heck of a time planting bombs on these mini moldarms.
Unfortunately, he has to get in there to get the Cane of Samaria to get another weapon to use against them.
So in case we missed it before, we're definitely seeing the Ice Rod Cave. And it looks like Old Man Sunshine's going to use the bomb there to get himself a water walking or flipperless glitch.
Just some bombs on Lake Hylia Island.
We'll see what that hobo's got. Now keep in mind, these are non-logic sequence, so any of these finds are a logical break.
Ooh, very interesting logical break in its results. So the mirror requires the flippers as far as logic's concerned.
Mm-hmm.
But that does make Tower of Hera full clearable for Old Man Sunshine. Though he would have to pick up the lamp first if there's anything in the basement.
Alright, Waterfall of Wishing time? Or, not wishing, but Waterfall Cave. Just 3 bombs and a sword, so that is an out-of-sequence sword. Very interesting. But it really changes things for Old Man Sunshine now.
I have to wonder if there are vanilla flippers at this point.
Oh, amazing. Would be amazing to have that be the case.
But, again, none of our runners are even halfway to Zora money, so we're probably not going to see that check for a while.
Yep, we are getting a look on Hitsian's screen of Eastern Palace. Now, we won't be able to get to Moldorm.
You mean Armos?
Armos Knights. Oh my goodness, my brain.
It's Monday.
Just 3 bombs, though.
But yeah, Old Man Sunshine's reward for his sequence break is he now can get past Mini Moldorm Cave without using bombs.
Yeah, and sometimes that find can be a really, really big upgrade. Like getting a sword upgrade if there's not very many, if there's no early swords, can really increase the speed at which you can move through the game.
Hitsuyan gets our first hint here, a unique item in Skull Woods. And since there are only 2 items in Skull Woods, that means it's almost certainly worth checking.
Yeah, as well, there'll be a very good chance that Skullwoods is a crystal, since we're only one pendant left out there, so. Now, here's a piece of information I don't have, and I'm kind of interested. Can you beat the Armos Knights with the cane if you have full magic? I don't know. I'm gonna guess no.
I mean, it would come up so rarely because unless you're an enemizer, you're not going to get to the Armos Knights without the bow.
That's true. So that does Eastern Palace. Nothing to find. Nothing more to find, rather. But up on the mountain we are.
And PKR gets her sword from the same sequence break. And she's water walking her way to Hobo, so she'll get the mirror too. Cassidy is going to show us what's on... Nope, not even looking for what's on Spectacle Rock, just going straight into the cave.
Well, they don't have the magic mirror yet. It's a sequence break, so makes sense not to worry about it. And it's just a piece of heart.
Well, thank you, game. We knew a glove was in Kakariko well. Yeah, so Old Man Sunshine is now making his way up, and he does have the mirror, so he'll be able to show us what's on Spectacle Rock, and in fact, what's in Tower of Hera.
Yeah, but I'm kind of confused. What I'm not sure is left that our players can check.
I'm starting to think vanilla flippers.
It's basically Zora, yeah, at this point.
Because that would then put the sword in the mirror in logic and tell us that the next thing is Aga. Or maybe not, because once the mirror is in logic, maybe there's something in Tower of Hera.
It could be just a sword would put Aga 1 in. So it doesn't have to be flippers.
Right, a sword on Zora would mean the game is necessarily expecting Aga 1.
We could also find the hammer or the other glove upgrade, which would open up the world a little. Now, Hitsion is trying to set up for a Houlihan room. He's making that play to Zora.
Oh, and there's the Master Sword sitting on Spectacle Rock.
And Old Man Sunshine's going to be able to grab that with that sequence break to get the mirror.
And Hitsuyan with 225 rupees in Houlihan will be very close to Zora money now.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time before Zora money will be achieved. He's going to head down to that cave by the entrance to the desert. Meanwhile,
Okay.
Old Man gives us another clue.
And we avoid a coffee break for the time being.
Hitsion grabbed his 500th rupee and is going to check out Agina's cave. I think he hasn't been there yet.
That was just a vanilla piece of heart, right?
Yeah. Oh, there's the key.
And the purple chest only has a piece of heart, so we can forget about that.
Nice bomb jump set up here to cross and get a shield from Tower of Hera.
Lovingly made by Fisher-Price. So either Moldorm has the second item, or we're probably going to see the coffee break to see if there's progression here. And the Master Sword is very nice here because it means only 3 spin attacks and Moldorm goes down.
I like Cassidy's decision to go into that rarely entered money room here in Eastern Palace.
Yeah, that's what a lot of runners just plain out forget about. And that was the compass, so the second item is in Hera Basement.
Yeah, and at this point, you've already put yourself here. There's really no reason not to look if you are in Old Man Sunshine's position. At this point, if you're a runner, you're probably going to want to find more progression, not a sword here on Zora. But one never can be sure.
Well, at the moment, literally the only things that the runners have access to between their items that we haven't seen are Zora and Hera Basement. So between Hitsuyan and Old Man Sunshine, we're going to find out everything.
Yeah, but Hera Basement is not legally or not logically accessible because it was the magic mirror required. So
right, so it's only in logic if Zora has vanilla flippers.
That's true. Oh, fell off the switch there, unfortunate. Hitsuyan being very careful to dodge fireballs there, and it's a boomerang in the basement.
So Zora must have our progression.
Absolutely has to have something. Hitsuyan, the first of the runners that we're currently featuring to get there, and it is the Titan's Mitt.
Wow.
So this was a farm-required seed. Titan's Mitt's going to give us access to the Dark World up in Skull. Most of Kakariko, or Village of Outcasts, will be accessible as well.
And everything in Thieves Town, except... Oh no, Kane of Samaria can kill blind, so...
Yep.
Yeah.
Except for the hammer-required big chest.
Right.
So that did open up a lot of checks for these runners. We see that our red crystals are in Turtle Rock and in the swamp. The other pendant is in Thieves Town. Of course it's in Thieves Town.
Either Thieves Town or Skullwoods is always a pendant.
So now that does mean that flippers technically lock both the mirror and one of the sword upgrades. Or 2 of the sword upgrades. So we are really on the hunt for the flippers to reset ourselves back in logical sequence.
Right. Right, so the game expects you to be where Hitsuyan is with no sword.
Yeah, Hitsuyan currently is outside of logic. Has a sword, even though it's not lit up on the tracker right now. And is making his way through the Skullwoods area.
where we know there will be at least one item. And I think we already saw the single arrow in Kakariko, so we know it's going to be a legitimate unique item.
Yes, we saw the single arrow. I do recall. Cassie Moen now picking up her flipper spot to get the Titan's Mitt. And there is the item, a Quake Medallion.
Oh, and Hitsuyan's not going to try for that one item in the back of Skullwoods, or did I miss it?
I believe has seen both of the items now.
Oh, what was the other?
That was just nothing of importance, like rubies or something.
Okay.
Looks like there's the hammer up.
Oh, wow.
So that's a great find, having already had the cape.
Yeah, Hitsuyan just doesn't want to get KO'd by that murder-dactyl. So the hammer is fully in logic, which means that Aga is dead, but unfortunately Old Man Sunshine doesn't know that.
Yeah, and that's really just an unfortunate thing. Old Man Sunshine didn't want to farm 500 rupees, or has forgotten that Zora has not been checked yet. So Hitsuyan is in tremendous position right now, having a very good run. Hasn't really made any poor decisions.
Well, assuming Cassidy follows the same route and finds the hammer next, she'll be well situated as well.
So here's something we don't often get to see at an early state. These are often checks that are done late, just because of the way the items have fleshed out on Hitsuyan's screen. So we're getting this north route with all the mirror checks. Just 20 rupees, though.
And given how poor he is, yeah, if he wants to play the chest game and Village of Outcasts is the next logical place to go, he's actually going to need those rupees.
Yeah, that's some heads-up gameplay there on Hitsuyan's side of the screen. Interesting, not going for the King's Tomb. Have they already checked the King's Tomb?
They don't have the boots to check King's Tomb.
Oh, that's right, you need to bonk it.
And PKR is now doing her Houlihan to get Zora money, so she will be able to avoid the Aga play.
It doesn't mean that this will be a complete loss. Having Aga will give access to at least one item, a few other items actually, for Old Man.
Well, the thing Old Man Sunshine will now have to remember is since he also has the mirror, beating Aga means that if he saves and quits in the Dark World, he will respawn in the Dark World, for better or worse.
Cassie's going to grab her hammer after deftly dodging that pterodactyl. Well, we get a ether medallion out of the chest. PKR is going up the tower, making that gut check decision call that, you know what, I think this is the right play.
She farmed the Zora money and then went to the tower anyway.
Yeah, I think just proximity, just feeling like this opens up more avenues, more opportunities, as opposed to just a single.
Well, sooner or later, the runners are going to have to make it to Zora, because you can't beat the game without the mitts.
Absolutely true. So far, this dip into Thieves Town hasn't turned up anything special other than Ether Medallion. There's another shield upgrade. Or no, the Ether Medallion was in the Village of Outcasts.
I didn't catch the whole ag fight so far. Have we seen one blue ball or two?
I was not watching it. But we'll get to look again in Pink Kitty Rose's play.
Well, we can also infer by how many times Old Man. So that was either the third or fourth set of blue balls. If it was the third, then the next hit will finish off Aga. If it was the fourth, it won't. So then we'll know. Okay, I guess we've had 4. We will get a look at Pyramid now.
Hitsuyan farming some rupees so that he can play dig game.
So Old Man Sunshine is going to go into Pod, which means he's spending 110 rupees on the Extortionist Monkey, which will take him farther away from Zora Money. And it's entirely possible that Pod is bow-locked and he doesn't have a bottle to glitch his way around that.
Yeah, that is true. Meanwhile, silver arrows were picked up at dig by Hitsuyan. And he is going to save Jeremiah. Do peg game, do hammer pegs, just the direct route here.
Always nice when you have the mirror and the hammer and the mitts all together coming through here the first time.
Absolutely. Nicer if you have the boots, though, so you can hammer dash.
I can't have everything.
Alright, so Hammer Peg Cave leaves us with a full heart container.
And we can't do Magic Bat while we're over here. Though Hitsuyan hasn't been to Tower of Hera, so he didn't get the hint about Purple Chest being worthless.
Well, there's the flippers.
Okay, we're back in Logic.
Yes, Hitsuyan now fully in Logic again. And I like this. He's got a nice path all the way down through the south of Village of Outcasts. He can check out Cave 45, can go see what Stumpy's doing. Head over to Hype Cave.
Oh, PKR is also gonna waste her Zora money on Kiki.
And we also learned that there's 5/4 of a heart container in the Pyramid Ferry.
I don't think the runners are going to be going to that trouble.
I would be very surprised. Oh, and Hitsuyan losing the chest, purple chest, did not follow him through that mirror, so is he going to go back for it or not? Looks like he's going to go back for it. Interesting choice.
It is unfortunate that he doesn't know he doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Okay, right. I forgot about Pod Basement. That's a pretty good place to pick up money, so our left side runners will have their Zora money now. And
yeah, it does. I think it replaces, more than replaces everything that you spend getting in. So Bugnet from Stumpy.
So I would have to imagine our left side runners are going to do the Catfish and Zora check when they get out of here.
Yeah, that's the efficient path that they can do now.
And I don't think they're going to find any progression in Pod either.
So we're get another big item location here. Hype Cave up on Cassidy Moen's.
Ooh, and Old Man Sunshine is... Oh, right, he saves and quits to Pyramid because of what we discussed about beating Aga.
So some hearts, or another full heart container, and some rupees, a little bit of bombs as well. Hype Cave, decidedly not hype.
You know, that was even worse than this afternoon. This afternoon, like, in this afternoon's race, Hype Cave actually made me laugh. It had 600 rupees and 1.5 hearts.
Oof.
And of course, it was after the runners had already done everything expensive.
Now, this is very interesting because it does mean at this point, unless there's something left in Palace of Darkness, which I don't think there is, I don't think anything was left there by Old Man Sun. It does mean that Catfish must have something as well right now.
No, we have.
Well, I guess there's still a few. There's Swamp now.
We don't have the back of Swamp, but we have the front of Swamp.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the lovely left side of Swamp.
So, Catfish, what do you have for us? Oh, red armor.
So, maybe there's progression in Swamp. Actually, we haven't seen the back of Thieves Town either.
That's true, yes, we do have Thieves Town.
We saw that there was junk in the front, but I don't offhand remember how many items we saw.
Hitsuyan now still hasn't gone into Tower of Hera area, so has a little bit of catching up to do on some of the other checks that the other players have made. And with the mirror and the hammer, you can actually head over to the east side of Death Mountain. I forgot.
Oh, right. So we should see Paradox Cave. And
yeah, so there are quite a few checks over there.
And with the mitts, Dark Death Mountain, too.
Mm-hmm. I suppose depending on how good your hovering is, Hookshot Cave is also viable.
You can't hover without the boots.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting. I keep feeling like they've got boots. You know why? It's because the last race I watched on Friday, they had boots so early on.
So unfortunately, Cassidy is going to now be spending a fair amount of time learning there's nothing in Pod.
Yeah. But again, these players are going to be making their decisions based on chest
So
location.
sorry, Hitsuyan just had rage slashes when he finally got that clue about the purple chest.
Oh, yeah. Having gone back after losing it as well makes it even worse. But as I was saying, you can't really fault the players for making these decisions at this point. You're trying to head to the largest nexus, the largest hub of chests to open up that are available to you at any given moment. And so Palace of Darkness is a very attractive dungeon.
Yeah, and only Hitsuyan has the flippers, so the other runners don't have Swamp available.
Mm-hmm. Pink Kitty Rose throwing a bomb after Zora, having already gone and killed Aga 1, realizing that it was not necessary.
Hitsuyan's going to take a coffee break for his red meringue now.
Yeah, and what's still interesting is Hitsuyan has the potential here, as long as he heads over to East Death Mountain, to skip the Palace of Darkness misplay, if you could call it that.
Though there's no guarantee that he'll be in go mode by the time he hits pod eventually.
Mm-hmm. True enough.
But, you know, depending, we might even see a Turtle Rock dive while Hitsuyan's up here.
Yeah, they do have Kane, so
And
it can go pretty far.
2/3 chance he can get in.
Mm-hmm.
And then the only question is TR fire-locked?
Well, we shall now see if his thoughts are mirroring my own. And the answer is yes. He's going to head over to East Death Mountain, which is the right play to do given his situation.
Yeah, there are 9, 10, 11 checks between light and dark sides. Not counting the foreign hookshot cave that he can't access.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't actually see it was on Floating Island.
It was 20 rupees.
Okay. Well, that's one check down. Ooh, and Bombos TR, so...
Well, that's almost a blessing in disguise. You know that you don't want to bother going in there. You can't. So you don't feel like you've wasted any time. Cassidy now is going to go ahead and finish off Thieves Town.
And PKR is now doing the Smith quest, which will get her the flippers.
Mm-hmm. Super Bunny Cave has nothing of note in it.
So now we get to see something really fun. Spiral Cave without the boots or the hookshot.
Yes, it is a long, slow walk.
It'll be interesting, though, if Bombo shows up in Spiral or Paradox.
Oh, no. There is a good chance.
I mean, we need to find progression, and it's either here or Swamp or, I guess, the back of Thieves Town. Let's see what Cassidy digs up there.
Yeah, we could find... Imagine getting Bombo's Fire Rod to Ice Rod. Actually, that would be okay. You do have to finish Turtle Rock anyway. And with red mail, or blue mail at this point, and the gear that they have, that's not a horrible situation to have to overcome.
And the cape puts Laser Bridge in logic.
Exactly. Well, there's the first bottle.
Maybe Sick Kid has something.
Good indeed. All right, Paradox Cave, what do you have for us today? A full heart container, some more bombs. There's magic powder, so another fetch quest. 10 arrows and rupees.
Well, we now have 2 fetch quest items available in Kakariko, so I would hope Hitsuyan goes there. Or is he going to try Swamp?
Meanwhile, just the map in the basement of Thieves Town, so Blind is where we'll head next.
Or has Hitsuyan done Hype Cave yet? Maybe he hasn't.
I believe Hitsuyan has... I can't imagine he would not have done Hype Cave when he went to go and do the purple chest.
Oh yeah, he's going south. He's going for the Swamp Dive.
Yeah, an interesting dive to make, but you're here, so... Cassie, so far, perfect on script for the blind fight. Well, took some damage there, though.
Wait a minute. PKR did Tower of Hera. She must have known
Yeah,
that purple chest wasn't worth it.
I believe she just realized that as she was playing there. So blind had 20 or 5 rupees, not even 20. Now, if this game really did require, this logic does require a dip into this chest here. Fire Rod.
Wow.
There in the swamp. So that puts the rest of Skullwoods back into play. As well, it activates Ice Palace.
Right.
Pink Kitty Rose also going to get this find, so that's a great comeback on her.
We're still going to need the flute somewhere to get to Meyer.
So PK decided she's going right to Ice Palace now, having picked up this. Having picked up the Fire Rod, is leaving Swamp and is going to go do a dungeon that can be full cleared at this point and is a crystal dungeon.
Wait, PKR hasn't picked up the hammer. Unless the tracker... Nope, she does not have the hammer.
Oh my goodness. The double dips are everywhere. The boots are in the swamp, and Hitsuyan just picked them up as we were watching.
Wow.
So staying in Swamp Palace was worth it, and she's got to feel... Well, you don't know. She could be thinking they were locked behind hookshot, but they were not.
And meanwhile, she can only do half the checks here in ice.
Yeah. Now, finding boots does mean that we also have access to the mushroom for another fetch quest.
And whatever's in Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb.
Mm-hmm.
And also Hitsuyan does have the wherewithal to full clear ice.
Yeah, and this is the most frustrating part when you have to, like, go do this whole section twice.
What is our final item in the front of Swamp? Vanilla Big Key. Maybe it leads to Vanilla Hookshot, who knows?
I'm not sure why we're staying in the dungeon.
Are you referring to PKR or Hitsuyan?
No Hitsuyan at this point.
Oh, he's gonna check the big chest.
Oh, right. just got the big key. Meanwhile, one of the items there in Ice Palace is just 20 rupees. Big chest was just a map. So now it's time for Ice Palace, I believe. And I just realized that Cassidy Moen just picked up their mirror from the hobo. All right, so we're gonna good first look at the boots lock locations here on Hitsion's screen. King's Tomb has 50 rupees.
And Bonk Rocks. Same thing.
Yeah, now I'm wondering
if... Ice Rod and Ice Palace.
Well, that's a good find. Goes really well with that Fire Rod, but I don't know if Pink Kitty Rose knows that Turtle Rock is Bombos yet, so...
Yeah, no one's getting into TR anytime soon. But we do know that our runners are going to need to do a pretty thorough check of Ice Palace. Okay, so now we'll get Sick Kid and Magic Bat.
Yeah, lots of fetch quests here to be taken care of on Hitsion's screen. I believe after this, if he doesn't find anything changing his path, he'll head down to the library to pick up the mushroom and then head over to the witch.
I just realized we are nearing the hour mark and we haven't seen a single crystal.
That is absolutely true. It does mean that we might get some go modes sooner or later, or several go mode dungeons. There's the Ocarina on Magic Bats. That's a fantastic find on Hitsuad's part. And we have had a lot of single dips into dungeons as well, I should say. So, has the opportunity now to go finish Skull Woods, get Desert out of the way. Oh, Desert Palace is a green pendant, so might not choose to do that. And could do Misery Mire.
2/3 chance.
Yes, unless it's very unlucky.
Right. Could be some serious trolling if they're both Bombos locked.
And does mean that this could potentially be a pedestal required seed. Finding the flute now. So it does give us desert access.
Right, but at the moment it would have to be a blind pull without the book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hitsion is going to go back up to Skull.
And Pink Kitty Rose becomes the first of our runners to earn a crystal 54.5 minutes in.
Yeah, and I have to believe that leaving Skullwood, she's going to head over and see that Bumper Cave has the hammer, which will open up a lot more of the world for her.
Right, that's why she didn't go farther into Swamp. I just realized.
Oh, right, she did not have the hammer with which to peg. And there's the bow, which is going to open up a lot of the world for them. They're still looking for Bombos, though. So.
I just did a facepalm by PKR save and quit, though, because that was her chance to get to Bumper Cave and get the hammer.
Absolutely, but it's that changes the calculus of a lot of things when you pick up bow and now know that, you know, Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness are doable.
Well, she can do the right side of Pod. She still can't do Helmosaur because she needs the hammer.
She doesn't have hammer.
And I wasn't counting items, so I don't know if there are any items on the right side of Pod, or if it's just going to be 2 keys.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to think that player of Pink Kitty Rose's caliber has definitely kept track.
So she will be triple dipping Pod.
Oh. That is just a feels bad situation.
And Hitsuyan finishes off the moth. And we'll hopefully go back in to get his bow. No, he's got the mirror out.
Yeah, I did switch to that.
He doesn't have the book, he can't ped check. Please don't skip the bow. Okay, good.
As well, Hitsuyan has the silver arrows already from Dig Games, so is in an even greater situation. Well, looks like just getting the mirror out to be ready to get out of Swamp or Skullwoods right away.
So I guess for no mode, we need the hook shot and bombos at this point. Poor PKR. There was an item in there, but it was the compass.
So now Hitsuyan has, if I recall, not been to the Palace of Darkness at all. And so this will be a one-shot clear, but is not going to provide any progression. Yeah, it is tremendously unfortunate for Pink Kitty Rose not to have gone over past Bumper Cave there, but totally understandable when you have the bow picked up and know that that opens up a lot of space for you. And everyone who plays, let's be honest, how often is Bumper Cave important? So here's our Armos Knights fight. Just a piece of heart. Currently, I think Old Man Sunshine's really his only play is going to be to head. Well, he's got a little bit of Palace of Darkness, I guess, and then to head to the swamp. Meanwhile, Cassidy now gonna go ahead and finish off Mothula, then pick up their bow. First crystal for Cassidy Moen now, completed at 1 hour and 1 minute in.
So Cassidy claims her bow.
So at this point, I think it's fairly safe to say that Hitsuyan has had the most efficient path of our featured runners through the seed so far. All of them have been struggling with this very trolly seed. It certainly has not made things easy for them.
Yeah, we still have no idea about Bombos or Hookshot, and 3 out of 4 of our runners have no clue about the Ice Rod.
And the real kicker here is Pink Kitty Rose is going to go through this and wonder if she needs the hammer for this dungeon as well.
You know, it occurred to me either Bombos or Hookshot could still be on Ped.
Yeah, that is certainly a possibility that would be uncomfortable. Of course, there's also Saharshala's trade-in with the green pendant. It's another possible semi-troll.
Well, chat's sure rooting for something on Ped. But chat's always rooting for something on Ped.
Yeah, and I have to believe that Hitsuyan's going to head down to the Desert and Misery Mire area next, as soon as he finishes off Eastern Palace and the and Helmasaur here.
I think Helma has an item on him.
Yeah, it was a piece of heart, I believe. Now we do know that the fairy chest in Pyramid Fairy, those chests are just heart containers, so that won't be anything that the runners, and I think pretty much every runner has read that clue so far.
Though in any case, to get to Pyramid Fairy, they'd have to get through Swamp and Turtle Rock, and since the only items they're missing are the Hookshot and Bombos, by that point they'd be in go mode anyway.
Yeah, it could be interesting if Hitsuyan goes to Ice Palace next and gets all the way through that. before heading to Swamp Mire. Or Desert Mire. The ice rod was located in Ice Palace.
Old Man Sunshine going to activate his flute.
Yeah, and having had access to the flute for such a long time, it always feels bad when you finally get it and you realize you could have had it 20 minutes ago.
That was interesting with PKR and the bombs there.
Yeah, putting on a little clinic.
Oh, and she still hasn't been up Death Mountain, so she doesn't have the powder, so no flute yet.
Mm-hmm.
But looks like she's finally checking Bumper Cave.
So Old Man Sunshine's going to be our first look over at the Mire Desert area. Shows us that it's ether to get in Mire, so we can get through Mire now. Of course, he cannot without either the hookshot or the boots, but Hitsion is going to be able to do that once they fly back and actually take the Dark World portal.
But old
Finally,
man,
a hammer for Pink Kitty Rose.
Old Man will presumably check Checkerboard Cave here. Just a lot of money. Too late in the game to be worthwhile.
But Old Man could be the first to put together all three. Oh, nope, doesn't have the boots yet, so may not be able to get through Desert. But may be able to be the first one to put all the pendants together for a pedestal check.
That'll be interesting. Okay, so either the big key is here or Desert is boots locked. And Old Man continues his dive.
It almost would have been better for him if it was boots locked, really.
Unless
of
there's
course,
something
this is
on
an
top.
item.
Right. He just has this check and Lanma.
He's going to elect to not check it. Interesting choice.
Yeah, you already have two, He's going to open Mire, but he can't do anything in there.
I think you may have forgotten he doesn't have hookshot or boots, so... Well, Hitsion does get a Godmire. Can't really afford to take it. I think Old Man Sunshine wanted to let the sun out, that's all. He was just... He knew what he was doing. He just wanted to stop the rain here in Misery Mire.
And I wonder, still I wonder, who'll stop the rain?
It's Old Man Sunshine.
So let's do a quick crystal count. Cassidy is actually in the lead crystal-wise with 3 now. PKR and Hitsuyan both have 2, and Old Man Sunshine is collecting pendants.
He's playing a completely different game right now. Not to say that it could absolutely be the right one.
High risk, high reward. He's gonna open up 2 big checks.
And with the way this seed has been playing out, it might be a very good. Well, there's the Book of Medora in Misery Mire. One of the last things you want to see at this point.
Oh, right, and Old Man Sunshine did not dip Swamp, so he didn't get the Fire Rod, so he couldn't get into the back of Skullwood, so he doesn't have the bow.
Exactly.
Which deprive him of the 2 most useful weapons against Lanmo.
Now, Pink Kitty Rose is about to head back into the swamp and find the boots. Well, chat, unless he finds something amazing if he goes to Eastern Palace first, I think we are going to see the blind ped pull. Oh, he's going to talk to Saharshala first. Cassidy Moen, on the other hand, is going up Tower of Hera now, so this seed is really running our players all over Hyrule.
Okay, Bacon Sword from Sahasrara, so it wasn't all for naught, but that's a lot of work for a sword upgrade.
Yeah, it really is. It's certainly not something that that you'd actually go out of your way for once you have silver arrows in the Master Sword, but since you have if Pedestal doesn't have anything, it's going to feel real awful. And what would be even worse is if Desert does have progression behind it. He just could not go to it.
But here we go. Well, Hitsuyan finishes off the eyeball.
Oh, disappoint.
But Vitreous has the hook shot.
Absolute good find for Hitsuyan there.
So, required Swamp double dip because you have to go in to get the boots to get into Mire to get the hook shot.
Yes, that is the way the seed is playing out. Hitsuyan is going to stop by and be able to check the chests out of Desert Palace that Old Man Sunshine was unable to see. Could find some progression here as well. If you get Bombos from this dungeon, you still have to do a full clear of Ice Palace, though. Because you need to find that Ice Rod.
I wonder, since Hitsuyan knows it is the green pendant, if he's just going to full clear it while he's here and wind up getting the Bacon Sword.
Yeah, I mean, that could be a nice thing. Certainly not necessary. Could end up working out for him.
Given his routing, it seems like he's heading for the back, actually.
Well, that's one item, and there's still one more left. Now, if he goes for the chests, then he may not clear, and it looks like that's where he's going.
So he is going. See, I was just wondering about the routing because he decided to go left and then right after getting the big
I agree.
key.
Yeah, just wanted to check the big key chest. I suppose if you didn't find anything in the big key chest, it would definitely say, well, I have to go to Land Molus most likely.
Yeah, I would have gone right, done the 2 item checks here, and then mirrored.
Yeah, and now he knows it is time for Land Molus. But he's, you know what, he's just bailing out. He's got that flute ready. He's got places to go, dungeons to clear.
Well, this could make a difference because we don't know where that 4th sword upgrade is.
And Master Sword Ganon is... Nah, that's a lot of spins.
Yeah. So I hope he didn't just condemn himself to a Master Sword Ganon fight.
Now he does have... He has cleared most of Swamp. So this should be a relatively quick re-clear of the Swamp Palace.
Yeah, and he'll do the 3 item checks and back, plus see what's on Argus. Maybe Bombos is here. And Old Man Sunshine finally gets his boots.
Yeah, this seed definitely required some significant double dips. Cassie's gonna bonk herself into the first chest here in Hookshot Cave. Just to see.
Oh,
if
right,
that was...
Hookshot Cave's now in Logic. I totally forgot.
But really, I can't imagine Hitsuyan heading that way until after having cleared everything but Turtle Rock.
Oh, certainly. But really, that's just the rest of Swamp and then Ice Palace.
That's true. Now, another thing, you know, those people, all of us who've played, you know, Randomizer, we all know that the medallions are always right outside the dungeon. That's another thing that just always is the case, right? So, if you want to play that game, there's Bombos in the sunken chests there. Now, we did get a clue from the previous dungeon saying that there was a unique item on.
Right.
He's still hoping to find Ice Rod.
Hitsuyan just needs to go to Ice Palace and get his Ice Rod, and he will be in go mode.
Yep, but that puts us all officially in no mode. Unfortunately, for 3 out of the 4 players that we are watching today, they have a circuitous route to get there. Each one missing a key item.
Yeah, I guess neither of our top runners have done Magic Bat yet.
Yeah, and at this point, I can't imagine a scenario in which Hitsuyan goes to Turtle Rock before Ice Palace.
Yeah. You don't want to have to take more trips up Death Mountain than you absolutely need to.
Absolutely.
So that is crystal number 5 for Hitsuyan.
Yeah, and just a few moments ago we were talking about that Cassidy had that crystal lead, but Hitsuyan is going to be able to knock these down in relatively short succession. Finding the Ice Rod relatively early on as well in Ice Palace is going to speed things up additionally. He's going to go check the Bombos tablet here. Might get a sword upgrade out of it. That's the next thing that would be useful.
Well, there's a reason they call it Bombos.
Casimo now getting the flute from Magic Bat, and it looks like Pig Kitty Rose also going to potentially head that way. After checking Sick Kid first. Oh, Hitsuyan cleverly checking all of these quick checks before spending time in Ice Palace. It does save. Go mode Ice Palace is about 3 minutes.
Well, then the only question is, since it's Spike Room Chest, will he check it on the way up or on the way down?
I'm going to say that once you're in go mode, you're just going to go. I think
No.
at this point...
The Ice Rod is in Spike Room Chest, so the runners...
Oh, I understand. Sorry, yes.
Yeah. Some
That's
of them
true.
check Spike Room Chest on the way up, some of them check it on the way down.
Well, we'll find out shortly.
Because that could save him a minute if he checks it on the way up.
Yeah, and plus he gets the big key early on.
And finally, all 4 of our runners have activated flutes.
Casimoan making the right call now, going to get that hook shot next by clearing out Misery Mire.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is that since we haven't seen the book useful for anything, and I mean, unless there's a sword upgrade on Ether, it isn't useful for anything. You're best off doing the God Mire, but the runners don't know that.
That's true. 3rd time's the charm for Hitsuyan getting across the bomb jump there. Jellyfish is deciding to cause a little bit of annoyance there.
Oh, and Old Man Sunshine does the nice Aetheron Gibdo strat. Okay,
And-
Hitsuyan is going up first.
Yeah, Ice Palace is one of those really interesting dungeons in that the Go mode version is more than 50% faster. It's at least half the time. I think it's about a 6.5-minute dungeon if you full clear it.
Well, at least he will avoid Iced Tea Room.
Mm-hmm.
And Old Man Sunshine gets his first crystal at an hour 25 and change, and at an hour 25 and change, Hitsuyan is in go mode.
Yeah, tremendous difference here. All because it, like, right from the start, this seed has been a doozy of a challenge.
Has he forgotten he's in go mode?
I'm not sure.
Or did he just figure he'd get that item
Might as well,
because,
it's
hey,
right
it was
there.
right there?
And a
And now
boomerang might prove useful.
It's the best boomerang, too.
Mm-hmm. Old Man Sunshine going to be happy to pick up that bow.
Well, PKR is now going up against Lanmo.
Yeah, still on the hunt for bombos there, so... And the hook shot. Interesting, Hitsuyan has a blue potion, doesn't want to use it unless absolutely necessary. Out of magic, so gonna use it now to recover health.
Well, and again, if he had gotten that bacon sword, he might not have needed it.
Absolutely true. So there is Ice Palace for Hitsuyan. Gonna make that final climb into Go Mode Turtle Rock. Go Mode Turtle Rock is kind of an interesting dungeon. Depends on where you find certain things, but whether or not you can speed it up or not.
Yeah, basically you need to get the big key before you get to the lava chest. Otherwise, it's pretty much a guaranteed run through Laser Bridge.
And though, you know, if you are concerned about finding Tempered Sword, there's a lot of chests there you might take a look at. Additionally, I would say if you when you finish Turtle Rock, if you truly want to go to, you could go through Paradox or sorry, Hookshot Cave as well to check those chests if it was a concern for a player.
Vitreous really is a joke with the silver arrows.
Yeah, it is not a hard fight.
There's a reason the vanilla game locks the silver arrows behind Vitreous.
Pink Kitty Rose is going to get the sword upgrade, though, from Saharshala. Gonna spend a few bonks.
Yeah.
Definitely not a player who needs it.
Well, considering she never did do the dig game to get the silver arrows...
That's true.
She's going to be doing Silverless Ganon. I'd much rather have Bacon than Master.
And she is going to throw that Murderdactyl into the lake. There's the big key, though, so that'll speed up Turtle Rock a little bit. With another key, so nice find for Hitsuyan there.
Yeah, so he can steal the key from the Hokuboku before Lava Room.
Mm-hmm. Now, what'll be interesting is if any of the other players in this race did some of the crazy things that could have been done, like, for taking the Godmire, which would have saved a little bit of time. We'll know if he's on the lookout for a Master Sword, though, or a sword upgrade, based on what he does here. If he goes through Mimic Cave or not.
Wow, I just went to check that we already have 4 forfeits, and there were only 18 runners to begin with.
Yeah, I can believe that on account of this seed's trolly nature.
Yeah. Just unfortunate. And 18 is also just kind of light. I wonder if people have the case of the Mondays.
It could very well be, yeah. Castimoan gonna pick up their Bombos, provided she checks these chests, and that is the case.
PKR showing us that facing Vitreous with the Tempered Sword really isn't that much slower than facing Vitreous with Silvers if you know, happen to be one of the top runners in the game.
And Hitsuyan now just speeding through the rest of Turtle Rock, perfectly happy to get this seed over with.
Yeah, with the key stolen, he can bypass Laser Bridge altogether.
Some other good things to find still. Half Magic would be a nice find, but absolutely not necessary. So that was an interesting interaction I think we just saw on Cassidy's screen. She was getting she's hitting with silver arrows into Argus there, but because of the spin attack, it was giving iframes.
Oh, Hitsuyan going for spin attacks on the main body of Trinex rather than hammer strikes. Oh, now he's switching to hammer.
Absolutely.
And there is his 7th crystal, which means that we have a little game we like to play. Take it away, Crowzone.
So, ladies and gentlemen in chat, if you can enter a number now between 1 and 22 to indicate your guess as to where we will find the Ganon's Tower Big Key, you should go ahead and do. Hopefully, we won't have any chaos through this path. My last seed, we definitely had 2 runners going 2 different paths, and it caused a little bit of a ruckus. But your guess, Drossi, what do you think? Where do you think we'll find it?
I'm just kind of a fan of 10, which usually translates to Rando Room. What about you?
I'm gonna go with 4 today.
Oh,
it's
you
gonna
think
be
we're gonna
early
get it
on.
early?
This seed has just been too mean for it to be late. It's interesting. Hitsion is gonna just check these chests. They're very easy to check. Might give yourself a sword upgrade.
Nope.
But did not turn out.
Wonder if we'll find out where that 4th sword upgrade is.
Yeah, lots of chests here in Ganon's Tower could potentially hold it. So with that, guessing is closed. A few people decided to play. As we enter Ganon's Tower at 1 hour 36 minutes 20 seconds. Wow!
Wow! Did anyone
2 is a nice early
close?
one. Earlier than I even thought could be happening. Looks like he's just going to take a quick look and see.
I guess Castanetrix
chests.
was our closest guess with 1, so congratulations.
Yeah, this is very interesting. He's got to grab a couple of keys, I think. When you get an early chest, it's kind of interesting, or an early big key. It's kind of interesting what players do. Grabbing a couple keys. Wow, plenty of keys here.
Wonder if he's looking for that sword upgrade.
Yeah, he must really be.
Got a riot shield.
Yeah, not what you want. But does have plenty of keys. There are still some chests up here that he could
more keys than there are locked doors by a factor of 2 in the upper levels. Once you're out of the basement, you only need 2 keys.
Yeah, it does mean that more of these chests have a chance of being something other than keys, though, so maybe he will pick up a sword along.
That is true. And Old Man Sunshine takes down Helmasaur for his 3rd crystal.
Into the gauntlet. Sion starts it off pretty strong.
And PKR at least is able to go mode her 2nd dip into Ice Palace. While Cassidy Moan is still looking for that Ice Rod.
Is going to find it right away, or as fast as logically possible.
Yeah, that'll save her a minute. Only, wait, does she not realize she's in go mode? Oh, she didn't have the key to get out of there.
Land Molus 2 goes down really quick for Hitsion. Now, the one positive thing here for everyone is that it's going to be fairly straightforward for everyone once they get into Ganon's Tower. Those first 2 chests are pretty much, no matter what strategy you employ to get through this dungeon, those are the first 2 you check.
Occasionally you get the Dark Magician fans who might check those as 6 and 7. PKR makes really short work of Cold Stare there with the Tempered Sword.
Hitsuyan, you have the Mirror Shield.
Oh, he's swag bonking and all that fun stuff.
Gets another blue pot. That's actually very useful safety for it.
Yeah, especially when you have to do 24 spin attacks on Ganon.
Absolutely.
Actually, I guess it's just 12 spin attacks for each of the first 2 phases. So yeah, 24.
Oh, another key, because that's what he needed.
Well, his only hope is Moldorm's last treasure.
Just 20 rupees. So let's see if we've got. Oh, I think there was 4 or 5 blue balls too on Aga 1 for the players. This seed has just been tremendous in trying to find ways to be frustrating and obnoxious.
Well, at least Hitsuyan got a couple of doubles there. Ooh,
Yeah, I think we're at 3-2-1.
2-2-1.
2-2-1. Yep.
3-2-1 would have done it.
Did hit with the third one in the first phase, but it was during the invulnerability frame. And with that, we are on a Master Sword with Silver Ganon fight. 1 blue potion as a safety. So for anyone unfamiliar watching, unfortunately, only spins are going to hurt Ganon when you have Master Sword. So Hitsuyan is going to show off some excellent dodging.
Heck of a way to develop the game, because the developers must have thought of this, that, realized that some runners would not get beyond the Master Sword when they were facing Ganon. So they, as opposed to the glitch for Silverless Ganon, which I'm sure was not planned, this had to have been planned, because it is entirely possible in the vanilla game to get to Ganon with just the Master Sword.
Yeah, it is totally optional to pick up that Tempered Sword and the final Golden Butter Sword.
But Hitsuyan is on to phase 3.
Is going to have to expend that blue potion because it needs magic power for the torches. It is tremendously frustrating when you're wasting your spins because Ganon won't stop moving around.
Gets the torch glitch at least.
Yeah, that is going to be helpful when you have to save up spins.
He's not been able to get any doubles on the arrows.
But with that, Hitsuyan has defeated Ganon, and as long as he's able to cross this incredibly treacherous 3-tile wide bridge safely, he will enter the Triforce Room and take victory over our other featured runners here. let's all hold our breaths to make sure it happens.
And Hitsuyan finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour 45 minutes second. That is good for second place overall. Korek was our first place finisher at 1 hour 41 minutes and 2 seconds.
Wow, that is a close race in this particular seed. So
yeah,
second place overall is very nice.
And we had some really good runners tonight, and none of them were sub 140.
Yeah, Pink Kitty Rose is searching for silvers, maybe. And Hitsuyan, welcome to the channel. How you doing after that seed?
Hey guys, GG's.
GG's indeed. What a run.
Yeah, that is not a good seed, I think. If you have to double dip swamp.
Yeah, that was absolutely required.
But I'm going to say, of all of the featured runners that we watched, you, with the double dip of swamp, which was necessary, managed to avoid all of the other double and even triple dips that some of our other players unfortunately went to searching for things. So I must say your pathing was very good through this particular seed.
Yeah, the last seeds I lost every time because I last located and don't checked the new things with my items, and this seed I found okay. I had the mirror now. And then I found the hammer, flippers, and mirror, probably in this order. And yeah, after all mirror checks, I thought, okay, let's go into swamp instead of going to pod or something like that.
So what did you think was the trolliest item for all that?
Maybe powder. Because it was the... I think only this item was on Death Mountain, and it leads to flute, I think.
Yeah, it was in Paradox Cave, and it led you to the flute. So that was a good one. Were you tempted? How was that Aga 1 temptation? Were you feeling like you might need to go that way, picking up the cape so early on, then the lantern?
Yeah, I thought about it, and I was really sure that Zora has flippers and not a mirror. The mids, sorry.
Yeah, that was another thing. I had almost forgotten that was the required logical path, like to farm up 500 rupees, and there was no big rupee pots to be found anywhere. You had to do Houlihan's or just collect rupees. So this seed really, really, really wanted to give you all the trouble.
Yeah, the lucky thing was I had enough rupees that I only have to Houlihan one time, and on the way to Agina, checking Smoke Cave, and then you have the 500.
Sorry to cut in here, but Old Man Sunshine is taking the long way through Ice Palace, unfortunately.
Now, what else made this really exciting seed, Hitsuyan, was the fact that everybody kind of took every one of the 4 players we were watching took a very different path through the seed. How did you feel when you saw that hammer up on Bumper Cave?
Yeah, it felt really good, because sometimes I skip things like that. And I was on Weem stream now and thought, okay, let's play safe and check everything we get, every fetch quest we get, and follow the path of the items.
So I'm just curious, though. You dipped Desert Palace. You got one item in the front, which meant the second item must have been on Lanmo. Why did you decide to nope out at that point?
Because bosses needed too long to defeat them.
Oh. Because...
And ice sword is stupid, so I don't know. I was gambling at the end. After ice, I would probably go in turtle walk instantly.
As it turned out, the key thing there was that while Lanmo didn't have anything useful, the green pendant could be turned in for the tempered sword.
Oh, that's not so bad, I think.
Yeah, so 2 of our runners wound up getting tempered sword that way. We still don't know where the 4th sword upgrade was.
Maybe deep in GT, I think.
Probably. I'm assuming that's why you were going through Stalfos' room there.
But I think no pendant was required, huh? You can skip all of them completely.
Right,
Yeah,
it was just...
I don't even... Where was there progression that was necessary in...
No, I don't think there was any progression in any of the pendant dungeons, other than, well, it's nice to have tempered sword.
Yeah, you got I believe there was like a shield and a boomerang in Tower. The magic boomerang was in the basement.
Oh yeah, the red one.
Yeah, and it's always interesting when you get a seed like this where it pulls you into thinking about Aggle 1, thinking about pedestal pulls.
I was thinking about skipping every pendant at the start, but no, not again.
Yeah, it is hard. Like, at what point do you make the decision to go into a pendant?
I don't had a lot of checks, and I thought Hera has something because the mirror lead to Hera. Yeah, that was the reason why. The only thing I skipped was Thieves Town back, I think, from the pendants and the desert boss.
Well, considering we saw a few ped pulls, you still saved yourself time compared to the other runners.
But I can say it's not a good play, what I did. That you skip Thieves Town in a seat like this, I think.
Oh yeah, you did. You did the front half of Thieves Town, right?
Yeah, 2 items in the back left. Yeah, but I think Swamp is the play in this seed, and then you are fine. And if you check the bed, not too late.
In fact, when you and both you and Pink Kitty Rose went to the swamp at the same time, the difference, of course, was that Pink Kitty Rose didn't yet have the hammer from Bumper Cave, so could only get the fire rod. But of course, getting that felt really good and went right to Ice Palace. And proceeded to get the ice rod, but couldn't complete either dungeon.
So she had to triple dip.
Yeah,
Swamp.
have to triple dip Swamp, yes.
Oh no.
But is still making excellent time. She's now on the Ganon fight without silvers. Didn't play dig game.
But you
with
need
bacon.
something like that to beat PK,
True.
And all told, the fact that she's still going to finish in under 2 hours is impressive.
Yeah, on a seed like this.
She
But
can
we are gonna
penta it and finish under 2 hours.
Yeah, we are gonna get a nice clinic on Silverless Ganon. And we were laughing at the Phase 3 Ganon that went through about 800 teleports while you were trying to spin. Is also kind of a funny thing.
Yeah, I'm not so good with the Master Sword spins in this phase. That's why I release every time the sword.
By the way, just to give some updates on runners not on screen, and SRL time 150.22, and Bonta is in 4th at 151.04.
Yeah, the finishes are going to be quite staggered, I think, just because of the nature of this. A lot of the time you'll get seeds, and we'll get races that people finish all at about the same time. But just the way this one played out certainly is going to be all over the place. Pink Kitty Rose takes down Ganon, and now again just has to navigate the very slippery bridge here. And I joke, but I have seen people go too soon and fall down.
So get your GGs in chat for her, and she finishes in 5th at 1 hour 55. And we have PKR in here with us. GG.
I have a headache.
This was the seed to give you that.
I desperately needed it. I desperately needed to give me something to make up for doing Aga when I didn't need to, but no pendant progression. But the very first thing I orphaned in the entire game was the hammer. You did have to go into Swamp Palace, but you had to go in with the hammer so you get the boots. So the fire rod I got didn't even matter. I tried to make use of the ice rod, but it was bombos. And it's just... If you want to see what a cacophony of bad luck looks like, there you go.
I mean, you basically did all dungeons, triple-dipped pod, triple-dipped swamp, and still finished sub 2 hours. That's actually pretty impressive.
Double-dipped Ice Palace, double-dipped Skull Woods, double-dipped Eastern Palace.
Pulled the pedestal. And traded with Saharshala.
You gave me a tempered sword, that was pretty nice.
Why you are doing that? Now my time looks really bad again.
I'm sorry, it's not. I had the worst seed pretty much ever in terms of things going wrong, but we still subdued.
Tremendous, for all that, why did you skip the dig game?
Because I needed to skip things to make up for doing Aghanim by mistake. It was the silvers, I'm guessing?
Yeah. Yup.
So yeah, the first 2 things I orphaned in the whole game, and it's the silver arrows and the hammer. Fantastic.
And we thought, we had thought as soon as you were leaving Skullwoods, you picked up the bow, and we're all like, oh, gonna go over to Bumper Cave, it's gonna be a great... But no. It was not.
No, that was out of my mind at that point. I needed things to not have progression, so I could try to come back a little bit, but no, they had progression, and all the desperation plays had nothing. I'm still furious that Turtle Rock was bombos, not that it mattered, because it was empty anyways, but...
Have you gambled for Aga, or gambled that so I have a sword?
So here's how this went. I had gotten the mirror early. I didn't have the money for Zora, so I just checked out Waterfall Ferry and made my way to Eastern. And then the mirror just led me to another sword, and I'm just like, okay, so everything that pieces this together is the flippers, and that leads to Aga. So as long as Zora's not my Dark World access, then we're good. Zora's my Dark World access. On top of Zora being my Dark World access, everything on the east side of the Dark World had nothing. So I didn't get helped out in that fashion either. And so this rippled into skipping things, which got me to skip the hammer. And then once I skipped the hammer, I had to double dip ice and swamp an extra time. And I had to go back to pod because I followed the bow, which led me to Eastern Palace on the bow side of pod, but those were both nothing. And then I tried to go up to Death Mountain to get into Turtle Rock, but it's bombo, so I can't. But it turns out I need the magic powder from up there anyway, so you go ahead and get the flames and leave the hooks, and at least I got to skip the other item in Misery Fire.
Yeah, it was a... This seed did not want to give anyone an easy route.
It's like, I would have been fine. I did everything I needed to if I just went to Zora. Because then I would have had the mirror. The mirror would have gotten me the flippers. The flippers would have gotten me to go into Swamp Palace. I would have gotten my boots. This would eventually, keyword, lead me over into Misery Mire to get my hookshot and be fine. But no. No. just had to be mitts. God. I think it wouldn't be much of a hot take to say that back when the sword logic was glitched and Aga rarely showed up, it was better for my overall success because I hate Aga in many ways. Aga seeds drive me crazy. I often do Aga for no reason. It drives me crazy, and I'm going a little crazy. Good lord, I'm gonna play some entrance after this and just cleanse my mind of the filth that was this unfortunate luck. I've seen it a little up, just a little bit. But no, none, zero, zilch, zada, not even existed. It's out the window. Hurl it out there. Give it a good toss. Put some force behind it, because you're not going nowhere.
Okay, just to cut in for a moment, Cassidy Moen now finishes 6th overall at 2 hours, 1 minute even. GG.
Just going a little psycho, it's fine.
If ever there was a seed that would justifiably do that, though, this is it.
It's reminding me of the standard weekly this week. I don't know, I've been having some catastrophically bad luck lately. I mean, this morning was fine because the seed was so bad that everybody got wrecked, but no.
Well, this one was sufficiently bad that no one finished sub 140.
Yeah, it was like that earlier today, too. It's mostly it was just another case of the version 30 special of mandatory double dip into Swamp Palace. Yay!
That's every time a hard decision, if you go into Swamp or not.
Well, Ice Palace at least let me know the boots were in there, and I'm just like, okay, I'll pick this up when I can. Little did I know I was supposed to already have them. God. I still can't believe I subdued that after all of that.
Speaking of Dark Magician, Old Man
Yes,
Sunshine
we
did just do it.
Yeah.
Got his big key 6th.
7th.
I mean, he needed a key from over there anyway, so that's not too bad.
Yeah, and that mirror shield, comes in handy.
Yeah, I gambled.
Yes, when Link gets hired for the Riot Squad. But Old Man Sunshine is in fact the only one of our runners who will be facing Ganon with Tempered and Silvers. Can we get Cassidy Moen in here, by the way? Oh, she's saying gonna pass on the interview, but thanks for the restream.
Yeah, this is a headache-inducing, just exhausting seed to have played through. So I don't fault any runners for that. We'll take a couple seconds here to remind everybody in chat, once again, that if you like what you were watching, all of the players volunteered to be restreamed today to be featured people. Lots of fun to watch them on their streams, so be sure to follow them. There they are in the chat for you.
I'm only somewhat crazy most of the time. Promise.
And we do feature these daily races every weekday at 2 and 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So plenty more opportunities to watch these and other runners during the week. And also, while we have a bit of a down moment, thank you very much to our trackers who have really been keeping up with a lot of craziness in this seed, with runners going different ways, so you never quite know who's getting what. But High Cut Type and Phantom Black Ice, thank you.
Yeah, especially on these when you're watching 4 people, keeping track of all of the items can be a very difficult job.
PKO is being kind of hard on herself, it looks like.
I'm just setting up for a much better mode. Oh, I should probably fix my stream. So it has the right trackers. Oy.
Old Man Sunshine is past land mode 2, and getting to the various torch rooms.
And is making respectable time through this particular seed. Especially considering the number of forfeits that other racers played through, having seen the fun that they were in for and just saying, you know what, I'm done with this one.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we do have 3 more finishers off screen. In 7th place, Adirondack Rick, 201.36. 8th place, Looney Cloud, 203.02. And 9th place, Big Dunka, 205.52. And we're now up to 5 forfeits. That's how trolly the seed was.
Yeah, I noticed that. Like, half the runners just decided to be... I was ready to do it when I saw those myths, but I was on the restream, so it's just like...
Well, we're glad you stuck it out.
There were like 6 different times I wanted to forfeit. One of them was when I saw Bombos. The symbol.
It was definitely, that's when we saw the first ones were about 40 minutes, and it was definitely going to be when people were picking up the mitts. Presumably at that time point.
Yeah, because we had 4 forfeits pretty early. Which is... That really speaks to how crazy this seed was, because normally we get like 40 or even 60 runners and see maybe 3 forfeits, so 5 out of 18 runners forfeited tonight. That really speaks to how absolutely nutso this seed was.
Especially if you make it much harder for yourself by arbitrarily skipping the hammer for no reason whatsoever. Except you did have a mistake. You didn't check. This is the problem with the play to win mindset, by the way, is that if you try to play to win, you make a big mistake and you start making more mistakes trying to correct that mistake, and it ripples into a super mega mistake. It's like, if you just accept that you're done, you're ruined, you're not going to come back from that, and just play normally from that point on, it will usually go better 9 times out of 10. If people weren't sleeping, I'd probably be a little bit more vocal.
Old Man Sunshine is having a heck of a time here on Aga.
Yeah, I think after everything he's been through, he's just a bit tilted at this point. I can't blame him. Still needs to get in 2 more hits.
But he will have the easiest of our featured runners path through the Ganon fight, having both tempered and silvers.
As a side note, like 3 plus people from this previous race have joined this entrance race. Everybody's a little salty.
Now this is interesting. Cassidy's collection rate is only 149 for all that. How did that happen?
The only having to look at 2 chests in Ganon's Tower is a big factor there.
Well, you had to look at more to get a key, because you have to have at least 1 key to go upstairs.
Well, you could have just picked up the skull. I don't know if she just did.
Oh, that's true.
The one thing I did notice you picked up, PKR, I noticed you picked up the half magic, but I didn't see. Oh, old man.
It was on Laser Bridge, the top right.
Oh, Old Man Sunshine takes a Ganonfall.
Yeah. That is the disappoint.
Sorry, you were saying something about half magic?
Yeah, I didn't notice where it was, but thanks for letting us know. It was on Laser Bridge. I missed it. Let's try this Ganon fight again.
On to phase 3, just stay away from the edges. Wow, I think all 4 of our featured runners got the torch glitch tonight.
I was gonna be all like, no, I didn't. And then I'm like, oh yeah. This one was fun without silvers, right?
And with that, Old Man Sunshine takes down Ganon. Finally, the final runner on our featured race today. Takes it down and is able to safely walk across the bridge.
And he will finish with an official SRL time of 2:13.05 in 12th place after Matt 7898 at 2:12.29 and Olamaniac at 2:12.45, so 3 runners within a minute of each other.
Welcome to the channel there, Old Man Sunshine.
Oh, hi.
How's that seed?
Still smarts.
So what was the trolliest item from your perspective?
The seed? No, it was the combo of the fire rod and boots in swamp, which I last locationed.
Yeah, and you didn't mind that, like, Zora troll?
Oh, then there was that, yes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is Aga 1 seed. I'll go ahead and do that. Right. I got there eventually.
Except the thing is, the swords weren't in logic at that point.
That is true.
The flippers weren't vanilla. The flippers weren't vanilla.
You know, it's funny. I called those flippers right before I found them, too. Hey, I hope they have the flippers. Oh, hey, there they are.
The flippers weren't vanilla.
Yeah, honestly, like, as you guys were turning up items, I was thinking it was going to be vanilla flippers and an Agaseed, but no. That would have been too obvious.
That would have been nice.
But at a certain point, I just said, okay, that's it. I'm going to finish this out of spite.
Well, we're glad you did.
Yes, but as I figured, I should not suffer alone. I'll just get a bunch of people, we'll have a pity party.
Well, if it's any consolation, you were the only one of our featured runners who had both the Tempered Sword and the Silver Arrows.
Woohoo!
Big game.
I am thorough.
Yes, you also pulled the pedestal and checked the Harshala, so...
Did anyone else pull the pad?
I did.
Yay!
I was essentially running around like a chicken with their head chopped off for the last
me
portion.
too.
I skipped the hammer. That was great.
Oh, I caught that.
You know, our afternoon race tomorrow is going to be in all dungeons, so I think you guys were just warming up for that.
Yeah, I'll just ask for a half day off of work. I'm sure they'll have no problem with it.
I can do it.
I'll just tell them I've been building up to this all my life.
This is the seed of destiny. The one that you will take. Grasp your destiny.
I was just looking at my tracker. I went, well, the only 3 dungeons I've finished are pendants. Well, maybe there's something on Ped. Let's try it.
That is true. You ended up being the last one to get a crystal. You had all 3 pendants.
I finished Agga 1. Oh, dear.
An intense seed. But, go ahead.
Looking across all the different trackers, I think the only items we did not see from any runner were the Cane of Burna and the 4th sword upgrade.
Where was Half Magic?
It was on Laser Ridge.
Ah. Did you go there looking for Ice Rod?
No, I
good.
had Ice Rod because I did a hammerless dip into Ice Palace.
Oh dear.
I stole a Poke Key and skipped the chest, so it was just that Laser Bridge was part of my Go Mode TR. You know, that whole Go Mode thing I've heard so much about.
Yeah.
Oh, mercy.
I just kept looking up at my tracker going, I can't go anywhere without Fire Rod or Boots. The only place left is Swamp, and I don't have the friggin' hook shot.
It's the version 30 special, Sunshine. Yeah. Mandatory hook shotless dip into Swamp Palace. There's at least something to laugh about when the seed goes so comically bad.
Well, I will say that all 4 of you guys provided a fantastic amount of entertainment for all of the viewers in chat. They were having a lot of fun watching. We had a lot of people participating, a lot of people speculating as to what was going to happen and who was going to find the next and when PKR was going to actually go look and find the hammer. It was...
Oh dear.
So it was super great.
I might have almost won if I got that hammer. That's the sad part.
It was the turning point when you didn't after Skullwoods would probably when you could have definitely taken at that point. But this is the way Link to the Past Rando runs. These things happen. So just on behalf of everybody in the chat, we'd just like to thank all 4 of you for having participated, letting volunteering to be restreamed. We greatly appreciate that. And if you'd like, take a moment to give a shout out or whatever you'd like to do at the end as we wrap things up.
It only gets better from here.
I concur. Thank you for having me. I seem to have extraordinarily bad luck whenever I get picked for the restream, but it's still fun, whatever.
And thanks also to the Speed Gaming channels for hosting these races every day. And if you want to see more Link to the Past Randomizer and happen to speak French or German, there are actually French and German Link to the Past Randomizer tournaments going on Speed Gaming Français and Speed Gaming Deutsch. Tune in pretty much any time tomorrow, and one of them's going on, it looks like. Other than that, that should do it for us tonight. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank
Thanks
you.
to my co-com Crowzone here. Pleasure working with you.
Yeah, and you as well. Thank you very much.
And thanks again to our runners. Please give them a follow.
As well as the trackers who helped us out tonight. Greatly appreciate it.
And with that, we bid you good night.
GG's.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.